Hey everyone, it's Reardon here with Billy, back again, main event mic'd. We're once back again here just to give our thoughts in regards to what's been going on in professional wrestling. We've had a very eventful Monday Night Raw, a very eventful AEW Blood and Guts, and a few shows coming up, especially with War Games at the end of the month. And then I think the following week we have AEW Full Gear. So in this video, we're just going to go over what was discussed on Monday Night Raw, maybe some things in regards to news that's been related, that's been going around as well. But yeah, Billy, how you been so far? How's wrestling
All
been treating
good,
you this
man.
week?
All good. Not watched Blood and Guts yet,
Hmm.
but watch Raw. Good Raw, solid Raw.
Yeah,
Watch SmackDown, awful SmackDown, as per usual. Um, but yeah, we're we're building up to the New Year, to Wrestle Kingdom, to Survivor
yeah,
Series.
yeah,
So yeah, all good. Good week.
yeah. I still haven't seen SmackDown. I just because I saw the results and just to quickly give thoughts on SmackDown. I think that's just kind of been the whole thing with SmackDown this whole year, where it's just been a lack of consistency in storylines, and you see it on a weekly basis. I'm happy to see that Lash Legend moved up because I feel like the SmackDown Women's Division has needed someone to kind of
Yeah,
stack up the roster a bit. So I'm cool that she's gotten that appearance, but then now it's now the responsibility for them to actually make her feel like something that is credible to the division, but
yep.
also to kind of make people care. That's the one thing I'm scared of.
It's nice we've got another tag team in the division as well
Yeah,
with Nia and Lash. Like you can see the similarities of their size.
yeah,
They
yeah.
should be dominant. It just depends how they're
How
going to
they
be
booked.
booked. Exactly that.
Yeah, I agree. And then
SmackDown.
yeah,
I
you
think.
go.
Could you imagine that was once 3 hours this year? Dear God, dear God, that was tough to sit through.
Nah, nah. I mean, Cody and Alistair, I don't mind, but it's like if you've seen them in AEW, then you don't really have the biggest expectations now, and I know Alistair and Selena had the comparisons of Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux with
Yeah,
how they've come out with the entrances, how they kind of move. I do think, ironically, Alistair and Selena are a better like duo to just to be honest, like a better duo compared to like
yeah,
A Scarlett and Karrion Cross. Even though I feel like what Karrion and Scarlett have done outside of WWE they've done a pretty good job of in case of keeping their character, keeping their fan base, and exploring different options like what Mike Idona did when he left WWE.
yeah.
Unfortunately, there's been other situations where I think last week we heard about the Rich Holland situation, which is just a
It's not a good
yeah,
look either
it's
side.
either side doesn't look like a good look. I mean, we to kind of quickly go over it. With Rich Holland situation, I wasn't the biggest Rich Holland fan. I understand that he wanted to go back. He was pretty much demoted to NXT,
Yeah,
but I think from both sides just doesn't look great. I think him talking about WWE still while still contracted allowed him to get him completely sacked. I do think it's not a good look for WWE just to do that when I know from previous um, places where you have helped people, even though in that situation. But then finding out that apparently someone from his family or a friend set up a GoFundMe with other wrestlers paying, and you didn't know for 4 days is kind of is a bit sketchy. Like
yeah,
it's a bit weird. That whole situation is sad and unfortunate, but I think it's also a learning curve for all the wrestlers that if you are not a Cody Rhodes, a Roman Reigns, a CM Punk, or someone who is a leader in your craft in professional wrestling, then you can be as disposable as Rich Holland.
well, our truth this year
That I mean, this
is there wasn't
yeah.
storyline.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, he's got his contract, but I just
Yeah,
think with wrestlers that maybe as not as experienced as R-Truth, they could falter into that position of where Rich Holland is, where he can't wrestle, can't work, and I know he gets a lot of hard time because he was unfortunately the person that ended Big E's career, but I think at the end of the day, he's now in a position where it's tough for him to find work, but we'll see how things go. I wasn't the biggest fan, but it is unfortunate for things like that just to happen. And it's just
yeah.
not a good look for WWE. If there was anything I would say about WWE, things outside of the ring just haven't been great. That's just the
No,
one thing I'll say.
I
But
agree.
let's go into something a little bit more positive. This week's Monday Night Raw, which I thought was a very, very good show. Probably one of the strongest Monday Night Raw shows. And I think one of the biggest reasons was that this was the very last appearance of a Mr. John Cena in Boston, in a
Yes.
place where it's been his hometown and everything. Um, he came out, well, Triple H came out first, but then introduced him in. And as we're getting, this is technically the last month of John Cena. I think we're going to appreciate what he's done. I still think his retirement tour was pretty meh, pretty
Yeah.
mid,
Yeah.
and the way they started
It's
off, yeah,
it's ending better.
it's ending better.
It's ending
Yeah,
better. They gave us a really bad start to it, but
yeah,
it's ending better.
yeah. I agree. I think it's in a position where it's ending better, and I think we're in a position where we are appreciating what John Cena has done for WWE. I think there will be an essence of people missing him, and I will, of course. I think I've just gotten used to not seeing him as much because he was very
Yeah.
part time. But I think now getting that closure that this is literally the final time that we're going to see him, there will be people that will be emotional. I doubt I will, but I think I can appreciate why people will be emotional because of how much years he spent in WWE, how much he spent in wrestling. He was literally the flagship poster guy for a lot of WWE. Um,
Yeah.
we can question some of the feuds that he had. He probably shouldn't have won, but you could argue that he was arguably one of the best on the mic. A wrestler who was able to adapt as the years go on and have much better matches with the wrestlers he was able to have chemistry with. But yeah,
Oh, the thing with Cena is he was our guy growing up. Like,
yeah,
love him or hate him, he is.
yeah,
In 10 years, 20 years back, someone's going to ask you, "Oh, who was the guy when you was growing up?" We'd say
yeah,
John Cena.
yeah. We'll say John Cena. I think it's clear that this era they will say John Cena.
Yeah.
From his entrances to his theme to what he was able to carry, it definitely will be John Cena. And then we had, which I think kind of made sense, the Intercontinental Champion at the time and the AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio come out and pretty much kind of try and steal the shine. And this was probably the one time when you're going to get Dom to be a heel. Well, he's a heel, but to get pretty much heel reactions from the crowd, especially
Yeah.
for where we are and everything. And this allowed for us to get an impromptu title match for the Intercontinental Championship so that John Cena can win the one championship that he has never won in WWE, the one title which we can argue he never really cared to win at all. But yeah, we're in Boston, and it was a good TV match. I think it did its job. The crowd was invested into everything because it would be for John Cena. We got the shenanigans. We got the tribute to Eddie Guerrero, where John Cena even did a bit of that, and he did the little wink to the camera, which was cool. Um, and then as the match went on, John Cena got the victory, and he is now currently the Intercontinental Champion with literally less than 1 month left until he retires. And he is now a Grand Slam champion. He's pretty much done everything. He's won nearly every single title that needs to be done in WWE. But yeah, Billy, what do you thought?
This is the one match the whole Cena run. I just wanted him to win. Like
Yeah,
the whole way throughout the match, I was like, please, please, just let him win. It's always a fantasy seeing Cena with the IC title. I love the IC title, always
yeah,
have, and I feel like Cena, having Cena have that title, no matter what stage of his career, is always going to be good
yeah,
for the title. The one issue is maybe, oh, it's not really an issue, but
mm,
did that title reign deserve that ending? Because of how good
mhm.
the reign was.
Yeah. When I look back on Dominic's time with the championship, it was a very good run and a really good reign. The amount of title defenses he had, and I think he grew with this, especially this year. He's definitely grew with the heel run, getting the title, and the gimmick and everything to it as well. And I think he's also improved in the ring as well. He's not a phenomenal
Yeah,
wrestler, but you can see the improvements that he's done, and the matches he's with people is a lot better. Um, I'm fine with it because I had a feeling that this was going to be the plan, that Cena would
yeah,
eventually get the IC title, the one belt that he's never won. I can understand people's thinking that maybe we could have had Dom's reign a bit longer. People have said those comments as well. I don't mind it. I don't mind Cena getting the Grand Slam title because I feel like we're going somewhere with this. heading into potentially, I don't know, War Games or maybe the last Saturday night main event. So yeah, overall it was a good match, good moment, and it was just a good way for the crowd to in Boston for the last time to kind of
Oh,
celebrate Cena. So
the pop. That is probably the pop of the
yeah,
year. That pop was insane. Although it's quite sort of good WWE moved down the Speed Championship to NXT because maybe
yeah.
that was the last one Cena had ticked off. Just a quick 3 minute match with El Grande.
Oh yeah, because El Grande has been NXT, but
Well, he lost it this week.
oh, did he? Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, Jasper Troy is now the Speed Champion.
Oh wow, okay, that's cool. I Hmm. I did look and read through NXT. Of course, there was the big return of Obafemi, which is cool to see as well. Um, yeah, okay. Thank God he didn't have to win that belt. That's all I'll say.
But
Um,
with Cena, I like this is me looking at it from a Dominic side. Like, of course, Cena
yeah,
winning it, it's a good moment. Where does it go from here? I think so. I think he's going to do a match on Raw. That will be his
yeah,
last Raw match.
yeah.
Probably a like open challenge sort of thing. IC
Possibly.
title. Could see Rey Mysterio answering it maybe. Last match being
Maybe,
Rey.
maybe.
Figures in with Dom, and then I can see him and Dom again for the IC title at Survivor Series, a rematch.
Yeah, I think it's possible. And then, of course, you got the person whoever's going to win the Time Is Now tournament, which is currently going on as well. We did have some matches through that, but I just wanted to address one thing. Poor LA Knight. You shouldn't have held that
Uh,
sign. I think this is what I think. I think ever since he's held up that sign, he's cooked, bro. They cut his entrance. I didn't even get to see his entrance because I didn't watch Raw live. I watched it after. So when I checked and saw that apparently his time got cut, it's not working well for him. Yeah,
as a Stone Cold Steve Austin once said, in this business, you got to get over. LA Knight got over, and he's
Mhm.
being punished for being gone over.
he's getting punished because of what he did. I think holding up that sign effed him a bit for the time being. There's always, I mean, there's been there was a push when Seth Rollins dropped the world title to kind of give him that moment to be in the match or even to win the world title. Even though I'm fine with CM Punk holding the championship,
Yeah,
I think I've just come to the realization and just the thought that this guy's not winning this world title anytime soon. This guy is it's just not going to happen. And
moment's gone.
it is gone. And whatever thing, maybe he won't be in this punishment, whatever. Maybe it's just me thinking about it, and maybe it's just my thoughts. But hopefully, he can just go past this. But that wasn't a
It
good look
could
for him.
get very worse on SmackDown, depending on who he's facing. If he loses there,
Yeah,
all the momentum's gone.
yeah, it's sad. We had a match. It was Rusev versus Damian Priest for it was the first round match. Cool little match with, of course, Rusev getting involved using the eye injury that Priest had throughout the match, so Rusev could take advantage of. So that was a cool little match. It seems like we are speeding up potentially Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree. I think for next week's Raw. And I think Becky's doing a good job to make Maxine feel like a very competent and good opponent to have for the IC title.
Yeah,
So that match should be good. They've had good matches in the past, so I think this could be another one, especially in MSG. CM Punk came out, and then our favorite wrestler, Logan Paul, I'm joking, he's not a favorite wrestler, came out, did an entrance, said some sus things, which I will not reply. I don't know why. Like, I don't, listen, Logan's a good wrestler. He has good matches. Whenever he talks, it's like Disney Channel
yep,
2008 speech,
yep.
like trying to be 2008 Disney bully speech that's trying to act tough. And you can, like, unfortunately, you can see the difference into what a CM Punk says and then what a Logan Paul says. Maybe that's unfair because of the skill gap in the promo. I'm
Yeah,
comparing arguably one of the best speakers in professional wrestling to a guy who's just stepped into wrestling not a few years ago. But Logan just does a good job of getting booed because he's an unlikable person.
yep.
But but yeah, I for some reason I just don't remember. Okay, I do remember. I remember Paul Heyman saying something about AJ Lee, but this kind of just sparked up, of course, War Games that we're
Yeah.
now going to eventually get, and we actually got William Regal to actually say it, which was actually a cool touch as well.
It was a cool touch, but you stole Joe Hendry's gimmick. Say his name and Regal appears.
Well, WWE will be saying a lot of his name as of now
Yes.
because as we are doing this recording, it has been reported that Joe Hendry. Well, it wasn't a big secret. We've known for time that he was going to do this, but Joe
Yeah.
Hendry has officially become a WWE wrestler. He has signed his contract to be WWE full time. We know this for a while. They gave him a lot to do last year, especially in NXT. Him getting over, him arguably getting squashed by Randy Orton, but we won't say anything about that, but getting his WrestleMania moment, appearing in
Yeah.
multiple shows, being
Royal
in the Rumble.
Rumble. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, yeah, cool for him. He deserves it for what he's been able to do to grind and get to the position that he's in now. But yeah, good for him. But yeah, in terms of the whole moment of setting up the official War Games matches, I'm interested to see what they do. But what do you think in terms of how we've kind of set up the men's War Games and the women's War Games as of now?
The men's War Games has been ever since Rollins, because we knew it was going to be a division going into it.
Yeah,
You knew it was going to, and we always thought it'd be Rollins, Reed, Breaker, Lesnar because of the interaction he had with
yeah,
Heyman on that SmackDown, and then
yeah,
from the Raw side, okay, he's been feuding with Punk, been
yeah.
feuding with Jet. Cody come out of nowhere. It makes sense because a couple of SmackDowns ago,
Yeah,
Breaker and Reed attacked Rhodes.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see who. Do you get Roman involved? I'm guessing so, even though Roman said he don't want to see Uso till Christmas.
yeah.
So it's probably Roman and Lesnar, and then there's a fifth spot for grabs for both teams.
Yeah, so I think as of now we have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso with 2 spots remaining for the babyface team, and we have the same thing with Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul. I think for the heel team, it would not surprise me if Drew McIntyre is part of this team. I know he's filming something, but
Yeah,
he has connections to Logan Paul because they beat up my man. Sorry if I'm forgetting your name.
give me the role.
Jelly Roll, and Brock Lesnar could make sense as potentially a help for that as
Does
well.
that mean Roman and Randy on the other side potentially?
Possibly because we haven't seen Randy for a while, and
He
he could.
just takes random months off now, Randy.
He deserves it. He's an OG.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
He deserves it. I think I saw something with his family, so yeah, he deserves it. It's calm for him. But we'll see how those two set up. And I think the women's one. I think as of now we have Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair with one more person. And then we have Nia Jax, Slash Legend, and the Kabuki Warriors with one more person. I think the one more person for the women is probably AJ Lee. It just kind of makes sense for AJ Lee just to
Becky
be the last
Lynch.
person.
Yeah.
And then, Becky Lynch for that one as well. That just, yeah.
Is this the third year in a row Rhea Ripley has just screamed War Games and the match has been made? With no
Possibly.
official, like, she just comes to the ring,
Yeah.
saves everyone, and just screams War Games.
Yeah. I think that's the, I mean, my problem, I think with Survivor Series War Games, especially with WWE, it has gone to that point where they're good matches, but I feel like there needs to be a change of what they utilize Survivor Series for.
Yeah,
Like I will praise Triple H for what he did with the Hell in a Cell shows because they just felt like, oh, we're in October, we're gonna have a Hell in a Cell show. I think there was one time when there was like 3 Hell in a Cell matches on a pay-per-view, and I was like, that was kind of overdone. But
yep,
now we haven't even had a Hell in a Cell match because we need to save Hell in a Cell for feuds that feel super important, like what they did with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
yep,
That felt really important. This one, I mean, the matches will kind of set themselves up. The feuds kind of do set themselves up. But I kind of feel like for next year, they need to kind of change things up because it kind of feels like the same thing over and over again. And especially when we're in a month where we've literally had Blood and Guts.
yep,
They usually are very separate. They're not like same month. Usually AEW Blood and Guts are like late spring to late summer. and then War Games is of course November. But now we've had it in the same month, and sure, people will say I don't really care for Blood and Guts. I care for War Games. People say the other vice versa. You're gonna get the comparisons, especially
Yeah,
this month.
yeah, yeah. With War Games, I feel like they got to make us want it again. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Like for years now, I'm like, oh, War Games coming up. Same with Hell in a Cell. How many times have we see Sheamus versus Randy Orton for no
yeah,
reason inside Hell in a Cell?
yeah,
A few don't need it. And I
yeah,
made the comparison to someone the other day because we were talking about the NXT and TNA, the 4v4.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, imagine this in War Games, like an actual
I wouldn't mind
reason
it.
to have a War
Yeah,
Games match. And then
yeah,
this could just be the 5-on-5. Bring back the 5-on-5 elimination matches. Like,
yeah,
they were fun, especially when you had like Team Cena versus Team Authority. Ones like
yeah,
that, it means something then. But yeah, War Games. And I think I said to you before, the same thing with the Chamber. I feel like the Chamber's going down that road of, it's just, I know there's more at stake in the Chamber because
yeah.
it's the main
Title
event.
matches and
Yeah,
yeah,
but make us want it again. Make us be like,
yeah.
what? Oh, could they do a chamber match here rather than they're going to
Doing
do a chamber match here?
February. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think that one. I think they're gonna keep Chamber because it's part of their slot for Road to WrestleMania, and how they. And they just confirmed. I think it will be in Chicago. So
yeah,
pencil CM Punk. If he doesn't win the Rumble, he will find a way to win that. Um, with Chamber, it's slightly different because it's their annual thing, and they kind of do it in shows where it's going to be big crowds. Not to mention, you could argue Elimination Chamber was one of their better PLEs this year, or pay per views,
yes,
if
it
you want to
was.
call them.
Yeah,
So that's going to keep it in the running for it to always happen. I just think with War Games, it feels very predictable. Elimination Chamber, there's something at risk. A title
yeah,
opportunity at WrestleMania. War Games, a lot of people come in storylines just to fight, and I know how they kind of do War Games is very different to the original one where Dustin Rhodes created in the 80s. And I know AEW's one is a little bit more like actual to the rules compared to, let's say, the WWE version. But I still think the show will be good. I think what we'll probably get is like maybe, of course, the 2 War Game matches. They'll probably add like maybe 2 singles matches as well, and that'll be the show. But I think it has a chance to be a good show.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Next, Stephanie Vecchia defended her women's championship against Raquel Rodriguez.
I know what's
The match,
coming.
okay. The match was good. I like the
Yeah,
match.
the match was good. Yeah.
I like the
Once
match. I
again,
thought,
Raquel Rodriguez this year has upped her
yeah,
level.
yeah. I think she's definitely improved. I did like the match. The match was good. It started slow, but I think it got better overall as well because you had Raquel utilize more of the offense for most of the match, and then we got the. You know, it's funny. We predicted this to a T.
Yep.
We predicted this to a T. Nikki Bella just forearms her. Yeah, she's healed. It is what it is. I don't listen. I think with Nikki Bella, she's gonna be the legend status wrestler that WWE are gonna have. I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with what they're doing here for the time being. It's just like it's just a feud for Stephanie to have until we
Yeah.
kind of get to like January or whatever, and to WrestleMania season. And it makes sense because Nikki and Stephanie have been like buddy for some time, and then Nikki went to Stephanie saying, "Oh, I feel down because I'm losing to all these better women wrestlers, no offense, and all these other stuff." So I don't mind it. And I feel like this will be a match that will probably get Survivor Series.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like Stephanie will have to do a lot to kind of get a great match out of Nikki, respectfully.
Could you imagine the scenario if Stephanie and Nikki happened right before John Cena's last match and Nikki Bella won the title? Right before John Cena's last match as a final, like, I think I'd turn it off there and not watch the actual match. Um,
Nah.
with Nikki and Stephanie, I don't mind Nick as a heel. She should be. She's better as a heel.
Yeah.
But for weeks now, you've said you have no confidence.
Yeah.
The only person that has been there for you, and I know it's wrestling that things like this
Yeah.
happen,
So, yeah.
but you've gone from no confidence to going after the main title in
Yeah.
about a week. Like, and next week they can just go, oh yeah, I was joking, like, or I was lying just to get near you or get near the
Yeah.
title.
They'll do
But
that.
right now, this heel turn don't make sense to me. The way they've gone about it, it just don't make sense to me. And also, what is all these wrestlers saying they watched Nikki Bella growing up when she's only about 6 years older than them?
I mean, that was unfortunately that was a generation of where the women's wrestlers were like Nikki was the top. Unfortunately, was the top dog. I think there was a time when because I know the PWI's top 250 women came out, and I think Nikki won it one time, but that
Probably
was
yeah, she had the Divas title for about a year or so.
yeah
But I wouldn't mind if like a Roxanne Perez or something said that. But when Io
yeah
Sky is saying I watched you when I was young, when she's
nah
about 6 years older than her.
yeah you were doing crazy stuff, but nah you were fighting Penta in San Diego. I know what you
Exactly
were
that.
doing. Like, you were not thinking about
Exactly.
this. Nikki Bella, you're like, I want to, after I fight Penta, I want to go there and beat you up. That they would, nah. So like, it don't make sense. But I think what's gonna happen, she's gonna be like, oh, I was jealous of Stephanie, yada yada yada, this and that. I just think it'll just be a simple, well-tiled feud for Stephanie to have, just for a title
Yeah.
defense to put up, and then we'll just move on because you've done. They're doing what they've done with Nikki. Nikki's been around this year. She's been in the Rumble. She was involved in Evolution show. I don't. Maybe it was the Battle Royal.
She was in the Battle
Um,
Royal, yeah.
and she's there. She's just
She
one
was in
of
the
the.
IC title feud with Becky. Yeah.
Could we argue that was one of the low points of her title reign?
Yeah,
I
but
think match wise,
we'll
the
move past
match,
that, yeah.
yeah. I did mark out and laugh when Becky did that line. That was funny.
Yeah.
So that was funny. But yeah, just to move on, Sheamus versus Nakamura. This was a good match, but I
Yeah.
kind of Sheamus was winning. Nakamura. I actually wanted you to go to Japan and face Hiroshi Tanahashi, but it was a good match. But Sheamus was going to win, which was kind of clear and obvious. Um, just quickly, what do you think of the whole concept of the Last Time Is Now tournament? Do you think it's something that is going to generate a star? Is it going to generate anything? Or what is your kind of overall thoughts about it so far?
I like it. I've liked it so far. It adds value to matches on Raw.
Hmm.
Do you remember, like, around like Money in the Bank time or Elimination Chamber, when you have like,
Yeah,
and I actually miss it when the Rumble had this, when the Rumble had qualification matches, an actual
yeah,
like a match that matters, not just
yeah,
we need to book Sheamus versus Nakamura because these two are doing nothing.
yeah.
Like, do I think it'll make a star? The person who I think's winning it, it could make a character for him. He's already, and that's Gunther. He's already
Yeah,
retired one person. Maybe he can start doing this whole. I'm going to start retiring people now,
yeah.
like Styles next year or something. But
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it depends who's in it. Like Gunther versus Javon Evans, that's going to
That's gonna
make
be
a
good.
star. That's
That's
going to
gonna be good.
make people realize Javon Evans is way too good for how young he is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you've got matches like Jey Uso versus The Miz, I'm not hyped for that. Like,
I'm not looking for respect to Jey Uso. You've had a great year. Respect to the Miz. It's on SmackDown.
yeah, it's on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like respectfully, 1.5 speed. If
Yeah,
there's an option,
yeah.
respectfully. I think Solo Sikoa is facing an imaginary opponent. He better pray that imaginary opponent isn't someone serious. But yeah,
Joe
for
Hendry.
me the tournament, I don't mind it. It does feel like a lot of wrestlers who haven't had anything to do are now being put in a tournament. I
Yeah,
understand that some of the wrestlers here have history. Rusev has history with Cena from WrestleMania 31. Nakamura has slight history if you want to count the time when he nearly broke his neck. Thank
yeah.
God he didn't. Um, and then Sheamus, of course, has history with him. Damian Priest, I don't know if you have history with him. And I think there's others that will probably pop up, and I feel like the people who are, oh, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Edge or is it this? It's gonna be Joe Hendry and lucha wrestlers. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be one of them. That's who I think is gonna happen. And as a officially signed Joe Hendry with a WWE trademark, everything. So
Mister, Mister Iguanes is facing Solo Sikoa, right? You know that's gonna happen.
that kind of makes sense though, because Solo Sikoa is funny.
Yeah,
That Iguana's funny.
it's
All Yeah, it makes sense. All I know is that if Iguana starts getting beaten up, he just needs Value Laredo just to be on ringside, and he's gonna be gassed in it. So yeah, looking at next week's Monday Night Raw, it seems like it's gonna be once again another stack show with Javon Evans Gunther. Gonna be great. R.I.P.
yeah.
for Javon Evans' chest because he's gonna get
Chess
chopped.
is going to be done.
Everything. Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree should be a good match. Solo Sikoa versus TB whatever. If it is Mr. Iguana, I'm gonna laugh. And then John Cena's final MSG appearance, which I think will be his final Raw match. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll be against Rey Mysterio. Maybe it'll be just be a tag match with Cena, Mysterio versus Dominic and Finn. Maybe. And then we had, to end the show, it was a tag team title match between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, where they actually dropped the belts. So they are now the new tag team champions. I have
For the
enjoyed the
fourth
Bliss.
time, is it? Is it for the fourth time now they're tag team champions?
I'll need to check that, It might be. I might have to check that. I might have to.
Because I'm pretty sure they win it like every year at this point.
I think yeah. I kind of recognize that a bit. But yeah, I have enjoyed the Flair Bliss reign, especially putting Charlotte in a tag team. It was needed,
Yeah.
especially after that very, very hostile feud between Tiffany and her. But it was a good choice. They had a good time with the run. But I think what Asuka and Kairi's doing on Monday Night Raw has been good. They've kind of showcased Asuka's an OG, and I think Kairi's very underrated. She's I think in ring one of the best wrestlers
Yeah.
in the division, but she's been underrated in terms of character work, and I think she's done a good job here. And they're heels; they can just go around, face each other with the belts, defend it. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, Stardom, maybe even somewhere. So maybe even TNA, maybe, who knows? But yeah, that was good, and of course that you had the presence of all the other wrestlers who were involved in the War Games match, just to confirm it as well. So yeah, overall this was a good Monday Night Raw, pretty good Raw. Very eventful. Of course, with the John Cena winning the IC title, the Kabuki Warriors winning the tag team championships,
Yes.
and just shout out to Dominic Mysterio. You had a great IC title run, but unfortunately, you were next to Triple H and John Cena, and you think you weren't going to get away with it. I'm sorry, my G. You just got to hold it. But yeah, I enjoyed Monday Night Raw. Good show overall.
And we got Regal back. So it's always a good thing to have Regal back.
It's cool to see Regal back, and just to get the War Games confirmed. I even remember a time when he was in AEW and he said blood and guts, and I was like, I see what you guys were trying, but it just don't hit.
Don't hit the same.
It just doesn't, unfortunately. It doesn't. Speaking of AEW, we'll just quickly I gave my thoughts on Blood and Guts on Spotify for anyone who would like to check it out. Hopefully it will be somewhere in the shared or whatever. Great show. Really enjoyed both of the War Games matches, Blood and Guts matches. In the recording, I do multiple times call the Death Riders, the Don Callis family. I don't know what I was doing it multiple times, but I just got mad confused. But overall, great show. I thought the women really showcased themselves in that match. I thought it was a great match. The men's one was a lot to do with the character work, especially with certain characters like a John Moxley. Could he lead the team to success? Could he not? And then I thought Hangman had a really good Falls Count Anywhere match with Powerhouse Hobbs to kind of continue that, and to confirm that Hangman and Samoa Joe will be in the side of Steel Cage for the match at Full Gear. But yeah, without giving too much away, because I know, Billy, you haven't watched, I thought it was arguably one of the best episodes of Dynamite this year. Definitely up there with the Spring Break show where you had Will Ospreay Takeshita versus Mercedes Athena. But it was a great show, and we're heading into Full Gear.
Yeah. I mean, I've not got anything to say yet. I've watched the women's entrances, and that's about it so far. But that's all I've got to so far. But I'm just waiting to see Darby Allin basically kill himself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't reveal too much, but yeah, yeah. This guy's a sicko. Yeah, I just don't get. He's just a
To
sicko. I don't know why.
touch on
Yeah.
quickly Darby Allin and John Moxley,
Mhm.
is this the end of the feud, you reckon? Or are they going to have something again down the line?
I think you have to end it now, especially after War Games, especially with where I see John Moxley's going with the Death Riders, because you lost the world title at All In. You said I quit in the I quit match with Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream. It's going to become a thing where, do these people inside your team, the Death Riders, trust you as a leader to lead them to success? I think that's the kind of thing that we're kind of slowly showing overall.
Okay.
But yeah, one thing I will say that was kind of jarring is, why is there another championship in AEW? Like,
Whenever AEW have people are not doing anything, it's like
yeah,
WWE and we'll make a tournament. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, AEW will make a title. Like it's just the same. It'll be unified
yeah.
within 2 years.
That's that's kind of the problem. I think the thing with Tony Khan, he's a ginormous wrestling fan and wrestling nerd. But it kind of reminds me of like that one thing where I think Jericho had that long list of the 1,000 like holds or whatnot.
Oh yeah,
It's Tony Khan. He has so much stuff that he enjoys and he just wants to put in. He's like, I want to put the national championship because of the NWA things and everything. But it's
yeah,
like you had the international and the continental championships, which you combined, and they're not even like unactive. They can be defended if Okada cares. He
mm.
doesn't. Just by his mannerisms, just how
Going
he
after
doesn't
the tag belts now.
that as well. Um, so it's like, what do you like? What's the point of adding this title? It's going to be in a casino gauntlet at Full Gear. My problem is this title going to be given the same appreciation as like the other titles are? You technically have 3 singles championships. You've just set
Yeah,
up a women's tag team tournament, which is continuing to go on. You're going to have the Continental Classic after Full Gear, which I am excited for, but it's like there's just
yeah,
too much going on. Like,
yeah,
there's good things going on in AEW where I like the Hangman Samoa Joe feud. I think what they're doing with Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné has been effective, even though I'm very scared for Mercedes to win that world title, because I feel like you're going to be put in a brick wall. It has nothing to do with the fact that she has 500 titles, is
yeah,
that you're going to have an AEW Women's Championship with 500 titles. And if she starts losing those titles, you're going to make your AEW World Women's Champion look weak. That's just
yep,
kind of the problem they have. So I hope Chris wins for that. But but yeah, I think overall with AEW, it was a great show. Really enjoyed Blood and Guts. Um, and I feel like this is where the comparisons compared to what they did with the War Games gimmick versus WWE's what WWE's going to do is going to be with WWE. It's very controlled violence where there's barely blood. There will be
yeah,
some weapons and there will be some spots, but with AEW, they embrace that. They embrace it because they don't need to have the limitations of being TV, whatever, or PG, whatever. But it's just the differences. I think both of them do it in their own way. I just think AEW do it in a more extreme way, which could be very effective, not in a bad way, but in an effective way, which makes you feel like this is brutal. While WWE, I've seen it multiple times now, which they're still good, mind you.
yeah. Well, there's three things in life: death, taxes, and Io Sky jumps off a cage with a trash can on their head.
That it's happening this year again. It's happening
Yeah,
this year again. It's gonna happen this year again. But yeah, just wanted to kind of quickly give my thoughts onto AEW, and then potentially we might have a preview for Full Gear, which is going to
yeah,
happen next week as well. Looking forward to 4.5 hours of great wrestling. I just
yeah,
Tony, you could Tony, please, you can shorten these pay-per-views. You don't need to make it like 4 or 5 hours. I don't need to wake up at 6 a.m. and the pay-per-view is still going on. What's going on, my
yeah.
G? Like, what is this? Um, but yeah, looking forward to that show. And before we end, let's quickly talk on good boy Chris Jericho, who had some thoughts. I don't think it would. I don't think it's that deep. I just think it's Chris Jericho being Chris Jericho, and I think he knows what he's doing. I don't have the transcript of what he said, but on his podcast with the Dudleys and the Hardys, he pretty much said that he thinks that TNA currently, especially after Bound for Glory, which had arguably one of their biggest attendances, it looked like a WrestleMania or a main event or WWE level show. And he used the comparison of AEW being in the ECW arena. It looked like a certain booker from Canada who apparently was not treating people right. I forgot the name of the person, but he wasn't like treating people right. They had to come in with like their own packed lunch and stuff for a week and stuff of that. I'm just kind of giving like a loose description of what he said in terms of that, because everyone wanted to point out why he used that person as an example. Look, what do you think, Billy? Let's start with you. What do you think of, if you've seen what he said, what do you think of what Jericho said?
It can either go two ways. If he's still signed with AEW and he's going to continue there,
Mhm.
you've just basically admitted that your company's first of all, well off WWE because they're
Mhm.
behind TNA.
Mhm.
So you now have devalued AEW to a
Yeah.
third place.
Yeah.
And if you're no longer with the AEW, you just sound sour. Now you just
Yeah.
sound like you're okay. You're bigging up TNA, which is good. Like TNA Bound
Yeah.
for Glory was good
Yeah.
at
Questionable.
moments.
Well,
Yeah,
and
at
well, with,
moments.
and now what we've seen or heard from yesterday. Yeah, but yeah, continue, bro.
And then so you now lowered AEW
Mhm.
and you've not really done anything TNA because you're not going to appear on TNA, Chris. Like
Mhm.
I know you just said it, like yeah, they're now the second place, but what was the need of saying that? You could have just said this. It was a good show. They're TNA are back to where they was before, and
Yeah.
everyone would be like, yeah, they were. But the fact that you've now brought AEW involved
Yeah.
now either makes you sour or you just devalued it now.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I think it was just hyperbole from what he was talking about in the description of AEW to TNA. I think TNA this year, or where they are as a company, before what I saw in the main event, which irritates me, um, it's probably the most valuable TNA have looked since before Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan came in, where
Yes.
they're growing in their attendance. I think the partnership with WWE/NXT has helped them in terms of growing the company a bit more. It seems like they're exploring the opportunity of finally getting a TV deal, which is good for them because they weren't going to grow from where they were going. I remember the times when TNA was on Twitch.
Yeah.
They were streaming on
Yeah.
Twitch. They've been through
Yeah, it
the
was
dark
tough
times.
times. Yeah, it was
Like,
tough times.
and that's when, like, unfortunately, they had dark times. They were going through different owner, through different owner. I think there was a time when Penta was champion and everything. And I know
Yes.
they had their partnerships with, let's say, an AEW. Then they had Kenny Omega and everything, but they're doing good. They're in a position where, as a company, they are better to an extent in terms of the attendance. When you saw Slammiversary and Bound for Glory, this is the type of things that you would like to see TNA do. But unfortunately, I just wouldn't. I think the AEW comparison, especially with where they were at the 2300 arena, is just a very unfair like comparison to use. Um, it kind of just feels like you are throwing shots at a company that, as of right now, you still work for, and you're not kind of given the right comparison to them. To say that they look like the second biggest organization through their pay-per-views, I get what you're trying to do that, but if we're just being real, they're not at that level yet. I still think there's wrestlers in TNA that are good, but if we're comparing rosters like AEW's roster, it's just not the same level. It's just not. I think,
Especially when you've just come off a stadium show earlier in the year.
yeah,
Like, no offense to TNA, they're not going to sell out or even be close to selling out a stadium show. Like, and it's obviously wrong what Chris has said. I know everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it's literally wrong. Like, you can check profits, you can check everything. AEW
yeah,
is the second biggest promotion in wrestling.
yeah. I think it's and plus the people that he was around, especially Bully Ray, for example. And it's nothing against
Yes.
Bully Ray because there's times when he can just be very like I'm clearly milking myself for the WWE crowd and just to say
Yeah.
all positive WWE, which is look, AEW wrestlers and fans will do the exact same thing for their product, and sometimes that's also corny as well. I think there's been a few times that wrestlers like Ricochet on social media, who I'm not gonna lie, I will never
Yes.
like Ricochet on my G. I will never follow you on Twitter. I don't like. I'm not even on Twitter all the time, but I'm not following you, bro. There's times and sometimes I agree with you. Sometimes I'm like, what are you saying? Where they will go hard for Tony Khan, but I think
Yeah.
for what Chris Jericho is trying to do is just a very hyperbole type response where it was going to cause attention, it was going to cause people to talk about it, but it just wasn't. He pretty much said it feels. He didn't say like they are, it's just it feels. And I disagree, especially when we've been pushing. This is spoilers for people who haven't watched TNA, but you've probably seen it or heard about it. You've been pushing Mike Santana so hard this year, where he's made the risks from going from tag team wrestler to singles wrestler where he's grinded and everything. And look what you've done there, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the thing overall. But we'll probably see Chris Jericho break the walls 2026, Saudi Royal Rumble blood money.
Yep.
And yeah, but it's just, I think it's just Chris Jericho being Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are overall pretty much the thoughts of what we thought overall this week in terms of Monday Night Raw, AEW, our good friend Chris Jericho that we'll probably see later on in 2026 in a WWE ring. But yeah, what will happen next week, we'll probably discuss on other things in regards to, let's say, Monday Night Raw. Maybe if there's anything that was enjoyable on SmackDown, we can maybe discuss.
Yeah. We'll,
Hopefully,
we'll we'll discuss the two Cena matches, and then that's probably it.
yeah. And then, of
Oh, and
course,
the US Open Challenge.
US Open Challenge as well. I think it's going to be, is it, is he facing Tamatonga this week?
He's meant to be facing Tamatonga for like the last 3 weeks, but also Tommaso Ciampa keeps coming out as
I
well.
think when.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I think for the last 3 weeks, he's seen Tamatonga backstage. Tommaso
Mhm.
Ciampa's answered the challenge twice and not got the
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what's
I think it's
happening there.
possible that could be the match.
Yeah, and then me and Orion are planning to do a few John Cena type videos leading up to his retirement,
Yep.
which will be good.
Yeah, that's something that we're looking to push to do as well. Yeah, I think. Wait, can you see me or hear me?
I can see you and hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's just crashing a bit, but I think it should be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll probably catch up with another video sometime later next week, similar like this. And but yeah, I've been Reardon.
With Billy. Catch you in a bit.
Catch you guys later. Take care.